Mariah Carey just took the stand, and what she revealed about Diddy, no one saw it coming. The courtroom went silent, reporters couldn't believe what they just heard, and the worst part? It might only be the beginning. This isn't some wild rumor or gossip headline, this is real. A courtroom, a judge, sworn testimony, and in the middle of it all, Mariah Carey, one of the biggest music icons of our time, spilling details about Diddy that left jaws on the floor. We've all seen the headlines about Sean Diddy Coombs lately, but this changes everything. And trust me, by the end of this video, you'll look at Diddy and Mariah a whole different way. In recent months, the walls around Diddy's empire have been slowly crumbling. Once known as the mogul behind Bad Boy Records, the life of the party, the music executive with the Midas touch, Diddy, has now found himself surrounded by lawsuits, former associates turning on him, and accusations that go far beyond the world of music. But what does Mariah Carey, a name we usually associate with holiday hits and vocal runs, have to do with all this? Well, a lot more than anyone expected. When she was called to testify, many thought it would just be a quick, harmless statement, maybe some insight from back in the 90s when they crossed paths at industry events. But what she said caught even the prosecutors off guard. What exactly did she reveal? Why is Diddy suddenly connected to such dark accusations? And why is Mariah, of all people, now a key figure in one of the most talked about legal battles in music history? Let's rewind just a bit. For decades, Diddy was seen as untouchable. He launched careers, filled clubs, and stayed at the top of the music food chain. But behind all the flashing lights, there were whispers. Whispers of manipulation, control, and deals that weren't as clean as they looked. And now all of those whispers are getting louder. In late 2024, multiple lawsuits started piling up against Diddy. Some from former employees, others from artists who said they were exploited or even threatened behind closed doors. The lawsuits covered everything, from financial misconduct to allegations of something much more disturbing. At first, it seemed like just another celebrity scandal. But when the names of other huge stars started coming up, names like Usher, Mary J. Blige, and yes, Mariah Carey, that's when things shifted. The public realized this wasn't just about one man's mistakes. This was a whole network of secrets. Mariah was subpoenaed after a former bodyguard mentioned her name during a deposition. He claimed she had witnessed a conversation between Diddy and another artist back in the early 2000s. At the time, Mariah was working on a collaboration that Diddy was involved in, so it didn't seem strange for her to be in the room. But what she remembered from that day? Now, that was strange. According to courtroom records, Mariah said, "I was in the studio lounge. Diddy came in, visibly upset. He wasn't acting like himself. He looked at the guy sitting across from him and said, 'They think I won't do it, but they forgot who I really am.' Then he laughed. But it wasn't a normal laugh, it was cold." Those words, "they forgot who I really am," sent a chill through the courtroom. The judge paused, the lawyers froze, and reporters scribbled furiously. No one expected Mariah to say something so ominous, and yet, there it was, under oath, in black and white. Now, to be clear, Mariah didn't accuse Diddy of any crime directly. She simply recalled a moment. But in the context of the case, it was explosive. Because that same week, another witness claimed Diddy threatened someone using nearly the same words. It wasn't just eerie, it was damning. So, what does this mean? Why is this one moment so important? Because it paints a picture of a man who, behind the scenes, might have used fear to control, intimidate, and manipulate people around him. And when someone as respected and careful as Mariah confirms that kind of behavior, it suddenly feels a lot more real. This also raises questions about the culture surrounding celebrity power. How many artists saw things but stayed silent? How many were afraid to speak up? Mariah, for most of her career, has stayed away from controversy. She's guarded, strategic, and often tight-lipped when it comes to industry drama. So for her to step into this storm, especially on record, says a lot. Sources close to her said she didn't want to testify. She was nervous about backlash. But after speaking to her legal team and reviewing the court documents, she agreed. And here's where it gets deeper. Court records also revealed that this wasn't the first unsettling encounter Mariah had with Diddy. In 2005, at a Grammy after-party, Mariah reportedly told her manager she didn't feel safe around Diddy. That note was logged in an old email, long forgotten, until it was subpoenaed by the court. In it, she said, "He was staring at me too long. It wasn't right. I didn't want to be left alone near him." Those words, written in private 20 years ago, now feel like another piece of the puzzle. So here we are. Mariah Carey has officially testified under oath that Diddy said something disturbing in her presence. She's provided a personal email that describes feeling unsafe around him years ago. And all of this lines up with what other witnesses are saying. It's not just about one quote anymore. It's a pattern of intimidation, a pattern of fear. And when patterns start forming in court cases like this, that's when juries start paying closer attention. That's when judges start digging deeper. And that's when legacies begin to fall. We're watching the possible unraveling of one of hip-hop's biggest names. And the fact that someone like Mariah Carey, who usually stays far away from this kind of drama, is now involved, makes it all the more serious. But what's most shocking is how far back all of this goes. This isn't just about lawsuits in 2024 and 2025. This is about an entire culture that may have been operating in the shadows for decades. And now, one by one, those shadows are being pulled into the light. What started as a simple court appearance by Mariah Carey turned into a headline-grabbing moment that might shift the entire case. Her testimony didn't just add more weight to the allegations, it brought credibility. And when celebrities of her level speak out, it gives others permission to do the same. This case is far from over. But Diddy's team now has a major problem because no matter how powerful your lawyers are, no matter how much money you throw at a problem, once the public starts connecting the dots, it's hard to make them forget what they've seen. And right now, the world is watching. Watch the next video to find out what Usher just revealed about Diddy. Let me know if you want this adapted for another celebrity or court case next.